Hi everyone. Mm, Today we are going to discuss about the BPC, and this is the first session. So I'm going to give BPC 10 demo. Let me introduce myself first. This is Venkat. I have 12 years of experience in SAP. I started my career as a adapter, and from there I moved to BW to BO, HANA and BPC. Currently I am working on BPC 10.0 and I am certified consultant in SAP BO, BI7 and BPC and HANA. And I have experience in various domains like automobiles, banking, semiconductors and pharmaceuticals and FMCG, this kind of businesses, and I have worked in USA, UK and Malaysia and India. Currently I'm in India. Recently came back from UK. Okay. So this is about my brief introduction. Okay, let's get into BPC course content first, and I think everyone is able to see my desktop. Okay. See, BPC, this is the BPC 10 course content, the introduction and concepts overview. So BPC 10 product overview. So here we will discuss about the versions of the BPC and from where the BPC generally develop and solutions. So here, so what kind of solutions BPC can provide, because BPC basically is a planning tool that everyone knows here. But in the markets there are many planning tools from SAP itself. So if you take APO is also one of the planning tools. So what kind of solutions BPC will provide when you compare with APO? Okay. So this kind of information. So what kind of solutions in terms of enterprise wise? Okay. And so this is the planning concepts. So what are the plannings and budgeting and forecasting? So how would you differentiate these planning, budgeting and forecasting? So after that, SAP BPC 10 architecture. So how the system looks like. Okay, and finally this is the BPC 10 system landscape. So what kind of system landscape? So how the system landscape is maintained in for BPC. So is it maintained in like the SAP other systems, or is it something else? Okay, we discuss this here. This is the first unit. So after that, we'll get into the real BPC. This is the BPC administration. In the BPC administration, where the very important concept is environment management. So what is the environment? So without environment, we cannot do anything in BPC. So what is the environment? So what is the environment is related to BW. So one more important thing is, so many people have some confusion, like so BPC should learn the FI background people, or BPC should learn BW background people. So I can say, so anyone can learn, whether it's FICO or BW guys, but thing is, those must have some extensive knowledge on BW as well as some FI concepts. So that basically it's not FI concepts, you can say it's general accounting concepts. Okay. So but thing is, so to get into BW, so a consultant must know from BW knowledge. So without BW knowledge, it's very difficult to understand. So in this course, what we will do is, if anyone doesn't know the BW, I will take you a couple of days with BW concepts. So majorly I'm just focusing on BW concepts which are required for BPC. Okay, and from there onwards I will move to BPC. So in the BPC administration, we have to learn about the environment management. So what is the environment and how it relates to BW, and after that dimension, model, and what kind of security is available in the SAP BPC. This administration part. It's not kind of administration, so there is a technical stuff that becomes in the administration part. So this is the second unit, is the EPM add-in. So here we will discuss about reports and input forms and workspace. What is workspace, input form and reports. So here I can say the major difference between the reports and the input forms is both are saved, but while using the input forms, once you modify the data in the input forms, you can save back the data into database, whereas the reports is just for the display purpose. So here everyone knows, BPC, in the BPC you can save the data, whereas in the BW you cannot save the data. BW just for read only access, whereas BPC read and write access. So that's what we are going to discuss here in EPM add-in. So what are the functions BPC is providing, and what are the formatting options? The formatting options, like just like your Excel and MS Word, PowerPoint formatting options, which we can use for our reports. Okay. So what is EPM here? So an EPM stands for Enterprise Performance Management. So EPMs, there are many other tools as well from SAP itself. So BPC is one of the tools. Okay. So MS Word integration with BPC. So here MS Word integration with BPC, how MS Word is integrated with BPC. So what will we do there, and so how the PowerPoint integrated with BPC. So and as well as the Excel. So all these three together we will discuss under this EPM add-in functionality. Okay. So from there on, so data manager. So data manager is nothing but just to load the data into BPC. So from the different kinds of source systems. So how do you load the data? So loading flat file from the master data into BPC system, and flat file transaction data into BPC system at the same time. From ECC to BW and from BW to BPC, both master data as well as the transaction data. Okay. And so what is the data package here? So data package is nothing but to perform this loading activity, you have to have some package. So there are many predefined packages is given by SAP in the BPC. So apart that, you can create your own package. Okay. So how do we do that? All these things we can discuss under this data manager. So going forward, we have rules in BPC, and so in the BPC, there are some code exists, so which is required to get the desired functionality as per the customer. Okay, so by using these scripts, these rules here, we have to write some code. And these are all the different types of rules given by SAP. It's a logic script, okay, member formulas and business rules and controls. So what are these? So when do we use the logic script and member formulas and business rules and controls? So we will discuss one by one. We'll take some scenarios. Okay, so in which business scenario we supposed to use logic script and when do we use member formulas? So we explore accordingly. Okay. And after that, so there are a few more concepts. So in BPC, which are like work status, journals, so business process flows. So business process flows, we can call it as BPFs. Okay. And data configuration and reports. So what are there? So what are the use of these and comments? Okay. These are all we will discuss in the others. What is the functionality of the work status? So what are the journals, etc. So all these are comes under the most of the skills comes under the planning. So BPC belongs basically to planning and consolidation, right? So now we see into consolidation. So the consolidations, first of all, we will discuss about the overall general consolidations. Don't think about the technology like BPC and overall general consolidations. What is the consolidation? Okay. So what do we do in the consolidation? What kind of results we will get by using the consolidation? So this kind of discussion we will do in the overview. So once we understand what is the consolidations, why the consolidation need for an organization, we will move into the technical terms like environment and models. So what are the models is required for the consolidation? Under the models, like, so what are the dimensions, properties? Okay. So what kind of master data is required for the consolidation? So there are specific properties is required for a few dimensions. So without them, we cannot do consolidation. So what are they? So that's what we are going to discuss here. Okay. So after that, so we can discuss about the currency conversion. So currency conversion is not only for the consolidation. So currency conversion is required for the planning as well. So we will discuss this currency conversion simultaneously while we discuss about the planning. And this is balance carry forward and intercompany elimination. These two exclusive for the consolidation purpose. There is no way related to planning. And we will discuss about these two. So consolidation central, so which is the new concept in BPC 10. So this concept is not available in BPC 7.5. Okay, currently this is BPC 10 version, and this is the new concept introduced by SAP. So what are these features and what is the useful of this consolidation center? So we will all discuss under the consolidation. And finally transports. Okay. So what are the steps need to take care of while doing the transports object from one system to another system in BPC? Okay. So what kind of objects we can transport and what this kind of information we will discuss in the transportation. So this is overall course content. So here I haven't included the BW introduction to doesn't know BW. So, though I did not include it here, so I will cover those topics for them. Okay? So before getting into BPC. So this is the overall BPC course content. Okay? So let's get into BPC demo. Okay? So this is the BPC demo, and so these are the basic concepts in planning, budgeting, and forecasting. So what is the planning and what is the budgeting and what is the forecasting? So basic concepts we are discussing here. Like, so planning is the process of modeling the future business activities. By using the planning, any organization can do planning for their future business activities. How their business is supposed to run in the next quarter. Okay, the organization will do planning today itself for the next quarter or next year. Like that. Okay. So planning is like thinking ahead and formulating set of activities which needs to execute in future. So whatever the steps supposed to execute, whatever the activity is supposed to execute in the future, okay, for them, so we have to do some planning right now. So this is what we do in the planning. So what is the budgeting then? So budgeting is while we do the planning, okay, to execute the activities, we need resources. So without resources, we cannot execute any plan. So in general business, so what are the resources like in SAP is defined like resources. You can say like money, machinery, men. Okay, so these are all the resources which are required to execute your activities, which are part of the planning. Okay, so that's what we do in the budgeting. So allocating the resources as per your planning. So whatever the planning is demands, the budget will support the plan. Okay, so budgeting will support the planning here. So budgeting is nothing but process of allocating the resources. So what is the forecasting? So when this forecasting comes into picture in the audio. Okay, in the planning and budgeting, we made a plan and we allocated the resources to execute the plan. Okay, that's fine. Now we are in the execution process of the planning. Okay, during that time the forecasting comes into picture. So it deals with the realization of the plan and is used as a monitoring mechanism. Now assume in the quarter you are at the middle of the execution of the planning activity. Now as per the direction of the activity execution, so some point of time you came to know that whether your planning is going to success or not. Okay. So that's what forecasting. So you have to forecast whether your planning activity, which is executing, is traveling towards expected results or not. That's what we'll find out in the forecasting. Okay, in the forecasting assume, so if we found that, okay, something is going wrong and your planning execution is not meeting the expected results, which you found in the middle of the planning execution with the help of the forecasting. Okay. So in that scenario, so what business do is they replan the activity which is not meeting the expected results, and they replan it and again they re-execute the planning. So here because of this forecasting, you are just monitoring the planning activity, whether it's going to meet the expected results or not. So this is how planning, budgeting, forecasting involved in an organization. So these are the three types of plannings, like short-term planning, medium-term planning, long-term planning. Okay, so short-term planning is usually like a year or less, and medium-term planning is 1 to 3 years duration, and long-term planning is more than 3 years. It depends on the organization. So in the short-term planning, you can expect the results quickly. Okay, whereas long-term planning, it takes more time to get the desired results. So this is the BPC product overview. So we'll see about the origin of the BPC, from where it came. And so then earlier BPC derived from the tool Hyperion. Okay, and earlier there are a few guys who are working with Hyperion. They came out and they started with Outlook Soft. So this is one tool, and SAP acquired this Outlook Soft, okay, and they renamed it as a BPC. So because of this Outlook Soft customers, so this Outlook Soft basically is for non-SAP customers, and so SAP don't want to lose their non-SAP customer as well. That's the reason. So after acquiring the SAP, so they renamed it as a BPC, and they remains continuing with the Outlook Soft. Now there are two versions, like Microsoft BPC as well as the Network BPC. So Microsoft BPC is like for non-SAP customers, and Network BPC is SAP customers. Okay. So here in Microsoft BPC, the first version is 5.1, and after that they moved to 7.4, currently is 10 version. And whereas for the BPC, Network BPC, there is no 5.1. So they started, Network BPC started with 7.0 and 7.5, and currently it's a 10.8. So this is about the product overview. Okay. So this is about the BPC itself demo session, and if anyone have any doubts, feel free to ask. Okay. Okay guys, thanks to everyone, and looking forward to you guys. And I'm going to start with today's session. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.